I'm Priestess Autumn Phoenix. Follow me on my social media platforms. Follow me on Periscope at Autumn Phoenix. Follow me on Facebook at Magically Blessed. Follow me on Instagram at Autumn_Phoenix1. Follow me on Twitter at Priestess Autumn. Follow me on YouTube at Autumn Phoenix. So tonight is another very special broadcast about 5 steps that you can do to determine what type of witch you are. For me personally, I do a little bit of everything. I do everything. So I'm just like an all-around witch, doing every type of magic out there. But if you want to put a label on it, if you want to label yourself a particular witch, you can, but it is not necessary. So don't feel pressure to do so. It is not necessary to label your craft or to label yourself a particular witch. But because so many people are drawn to magic right now, some may want to identify with one. Number 1, the first step is to read and learn as much as possible about witchcraft. Read, read, read. If you don't like reading, witchcraft is not for you. It's not. When you write a spell, you have to love reading. Because you have to, if you want to be able to speak that spell out loud. So learn as much as you can from whatever or whoever you can about witchcraft. Don't just start doing things, because that's when mistakes come up. Some mistakes are hard to reverse. So learn and read as much as possible about witchcraft. Read about different witchcraft traditions, about different cultures that practice witchcraft, and about different kinds of magic. You want to take careful note of those that speak to you. And you want to also take important notes of other witches who speak on the craft. If they haven't produced anything, if they are just talking out of their ass, they are not going to be of any help to you whatsoever. Those type of witches just want an audience. So be careful of where you get your research from and who you let speak into your life, especially when it concerns your craft. You know, you just want to take note of what you read about witchcraft and who you talk about witchcraft with, just to make sure that it makes sense in your world. When you do witchcraft, it has to make sense to you. If the spell or ritual or curse or hex that you're doing does not make sense to you, then don't do it, because that spell will not be successful. Let me give you an example. You might be drawn to green witchcraft and herbalism. If you are a person that does a lot of gardening, or you might be interested in Judaism, Druid, Druidism, if you have Celtic roots. My roots is African, and sometimes I do that. Sometimes I work just exclusively with my ancestors. Sometimes I work with different gods and goddesses. But it doesn't matter. There's no wrong or right God or goddess to work with. It's entirely up to you. So just be sure that where you are getting your information about when it comes to witchcraft is true. Because if it's wrong, bad things are going to happen to you. Okay? Number 2, take a look at your hobbies and the activities that you are interested in to see if they point you in the right direction. Do you spend a lot of time out in nature or hiking? Then you might be a nature witch. Do you talk to the trees? Are you a, tree hugger? Do you love communing with the forest spirits? If so, you very well may be a nature witch. Do you like the idea of your book of shadows, what is known to us as our spell book, in the cloud, especially having it accessible on multiple devices? Then you know what? Techno-paganism might be for you. Your book of shadows does not have to be in an actual book. It can be digital. You can have it on a flash drive. You can even have it on a floppy disk. Your book of shadows does not have to be a physical book, especially if you are not yet out of the broom closet and you may live with people who, steal your shit. Put your book of shadows on your tablet, your phone, your laptop, your computer, somewhere, and also make it password protected. But the best thing that I would suggest that you do is keep it on a flash drive, especially if you are not yet out of the broom closet. And especially if you're living with people who don't particularly agree with your craft or you even doing witchcraft within the house. A flash drive, techno-paganism might be for you. Because if you are a witch, you know how important a book of shadows is. Your book of shadows is literally alive. All your spells and rituals and curses and hexes, all that goes in there. And you don't want it to fall into the wrong hands, because that's when shit is going to hit the fan. Like, I will beat somebody's ass for my book. I have beaten people's asses over my book of shadows. That's how important our spell book is. That stereotype about witches going crazy when somebody touches their book of shadows is actually true. I will beat your ass if you touch my book. Straight up. That's an ass whooping. So if your living circumstances does not allow you to have a physical book, put it on a flash drive and carry it with you. Don't lose it, all right? Or like I said, keep it password protected. But some witches nowadays are going techno-paganism, putting it on a flash drive rather than actually having a physical book, because they don't want to even risk somebody having it. It's devastating. When a witch loses their book of shadows, it is devastating. It's a literal heartbreak. It's more than a breakup. It hurts more than a breakup from your boyfriend or your girlfriend. They go mad. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. Your book of shadows is your most important tool on your altar. Treat it as such. Treat it with respect. The third thing is study your natal chart. Study astrology. Like me, I'm a Scorpio. My sun is Scorpio. My moon is Libra. And my rising sign is Sagittarius. So I'm a water sign, I'm an air sign, and I'm a fire sign. But I mostly identify with Scorpio. I feel like I have all the traits of that astrological animal, Scorpio. But yeah, if you don't have access to your natal chart, just go online and get it for free. All you have to do is put in your birth information, your time of birth, where you was born, and it'll come out for you. And if you want a much more extended information about it, you will have to pay for it. But you can get it for free on Google. You don't have to pay for it. So study your astrological chart to discover what the stars have to say about your practice, or what type of witch you should be. It's important to take into consideration more than just your sun signs, to take as well into consideration your moon sign, your rising sign, and all the other information that might appear on the chart, because it will shine far more light on who you are internally. So one way you can find out what type of witch you are is by studying your astrological chart. I've done it, and if it'll work for me, it'll work for you. So number 4, try it out. The best way to know if a particular type of magic is right for you is to try it. Just try it out. Any type of spell that you may have ever wanted to do, just try it out. Although you may not be able to practice within the safety of a coven, trying a few spells or rituals based on a tradition you are interested in is a great way to see if it's a good fit for you. So try it out. Try different things. Try different spells and rituals. Don't do anything too big. Don't do anything that you've never done before, because you might have problems if it goes wrong. Like if your first spell is doing a curse, you're going to have problems, guaranteed, because you don't know how to protect yourself. You shouldn't be doing curses if it's your first time doing witchcraft. You should not be doing that, because you don't know how to protect yourself, and you're going to get fucked up. That's the only way I can describe it, just that blunt. Your first spell should not be a curse, because you are going to get fucked up. So don't do that, because you don't know how to protect yourself first. Start small. That's what a lot of witches make mistakes at. They want their first spell to be big. Okay, it's big, but what's about the consequences of that big spell? What's about the consequences of binding somebody? You're not supposed to do that. Why are you doing it? There are consequences for every spell that you do. Every spell that you do. Alright? So just try it out. Try out different spells and rituals and see what works for you. What works for you may not work for another witch. So you don't want to go into that mind frame of, oh, you're doing that wrong. You don't get to tell another witch that they're doing something wrong. Let's not do that. Because like I just said, what may work for you may not work for another witch. And it's not your place to say that anyway, because you know what? It's not your craft. Witchcraft is different for every practitioner. So you don't get to say to another witch, oh, you're doing it wrong. Don't do that. Okay, don't be an asshole, all right? That's just what the type of witch is that says that this to another witch. You're an asshole. If another witch tells you you should be doing this spell this way, they are an asshole. Because you do not get to tell another witch what to do with their craft. Because it's not yours, it's theirs. So, back up off them, all right? Before you find yourself hurt. I'm telling you the truth because I'm telling you what I've experienced. I'm telling you what is going to happen if you don't follow these little unwritten rules. Okay? Number 5, mix and match. You can, don't be afraid to mix and match different forms of witchcraft. So if you're into African spirituality or Latino witchcraft, you can combine the two. Remember, witchcraft is a craft. It's whatever you want it to be. And you don't have to answer to nobody. You don't have to explain to nobody why you do the things you do when it comes to your craft. Because it's nobody's business but your own. So you can mix and match. Find out what different traditions work well for you when it comes to spell casting. You can take your family tradition and mix them into your craft. You don't have to follow a book exactly as it is written. Matter of fact, if you do that, your spell is probably not going to go anywhere, and you're going to, be asking yourself, why didn't my spell work? Because you don't have to follow exactly what it says in a book that you brought from Barnes & Noble. Okay, you don't have to do that. You can mix and match. If you feel drawn to 2 or more forms of witchcraft, you can put them together to create a whole new witch. You can take different traditions and put them together. You don't have to stick to just one. So those are my 5 steps to figure out what kind of witch you are. Now, once again, I'm going to tell you where you can find me at on social media. Follow me on Periscope at Autumn Phoenix. Follow me on Facebook at Magically Blessed. Follow me on Instagram at Autumn_Phoenix1. Follow me on Twitter at Priestess Autumn. Follow me on YouTube at Autumn Phoenix. Also, I will be uploading this up to my Facebook page and my YouTube page in a few moments, so you can also view it there. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel because I do occasionally post videos when I have the time to do so. So thank you for joining me tonight, and I will be speaking to you guys shortly. Bye, everybody.